Well, this morning, the man accused of murdering a worker at a 7-Eleven across from UNM is waking up in jail, and he's going to stay there unless he can come up with $1 million in cash. A judge set a $10 million bond for Eloy Aguilar yesterday. Investigators say Aguilar was with his cousin and a friend Tuesday morning when they decided to hold up the 7-Eleven here at Central and University. Police say one of them robbed some students in a van outside, and they say Aguilar went inside to try to rob the store. That's when investigators say Aguilar shot and killed the clerk there, Chad Mercer. Police arrested Aguilar on Wednesday, got the other two on Tuesday. All three men are now charged with murder. Also this morning, police now have the gun they say Aguilar used to kill Chad Mercer. They found it in an alley yesterday. Detectives are also analyzing the clothes Aguilar was wearing at the time of the murder. Elizabeth.
This morning, Albuquerque police now have one of the suspects linked to a deadly stabbing behind bars. The victim here, Rick Baldison, was stabbed to death at a bus stop on Central and Texas Tuesday night. Police have arrested Russell Monarco. They are still looking for another suspect, Vigoret Vicente. There's a $1,000 reward on the table right now for information that leads to Vicente's arrest. It is official. Authorities say the man arrested this week for violating his probation is indeed New Mexico's Barefoot Bandit, and he is now expected to appear before a U.S. District Court judge today. The FBI says 45-year-old George Hyatt of Moriarty is now facing robbery charges for the holdup at the Educators Credit Union on Monday. He was arrested Wednesday at an Albuquerque motel. He's also suspected in another bank robbery from Tuesday, but has not been charged with that yet. Hyatt did spend 6 years in prison for a series of bank robberies here back in 2005.
We have an absolutely horrific case of what looks like animal abuse to tell you about this morning. And before we do, here's a warning. The video you're about to see is quite graphic and sad. Animal control officers say they got an anonymous tip and found 3 young pit bulls at this home near Coors and Central this week. The man who owns the dogs is named Tim Chavez here. He would not go on camera, but he told us he was not feeding these dogs because he didn't have the money. Veterinarian Dr. Nicole Vigil says that is just ridiculous.
This is not acceptable under any circumstances, regardless of economy.
Investigators say Chavez and his dad have given up dogs before, and they did have to be put down. They do not think the pit bulls will have to be put to sleep, thankfully, but veterinarians do want to wait a few days to clean the dogs up so they can gain some weight and calm down. We found out Chavez works for the city of Albuquerque in the Family Services Department, and the city is now looking at what to do about his job.
All right, the problem-plagued town of Sunland Park, New Mexico, remember this town, is now facing more bad financial news this morning. The city council voted to double property taxes because of the border town's $2 million budget deficit. They're also considering layoffs and closing a senior center as well as the library. The state has taken over Sunland Park's finances after an audit revealed widespread mismanagement. 5:05 is now the time. All right, can't really turn on the news without hearing about the devastating drought these days. Most of the country, especially in the Midwest, has been hit hard, and it is all now starting to affect each and every one of us.
If you haven't noticed this at the grocery store already, you're going to soon, because a lot of things we buy each and every day are about to get a lot more expensive. News 13's David Romero is live in a Newsplex with more. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Matt. Pains at the pump, now pains buying groceries. Where will it end? Now, the blame for this hike lies with Mother Nature.
It's being called one of the worst droughts in decades. Dozens of crops drying up from lack of water and too much heat.
The cost of grain in the last 2 months has gone up about 30%. Hay in the last year has doubled in price. So there's definitely a lot of pressure on the meat industry.
With field corns and soybeans affected, this trickles down into food and fuel increases. Grain prices hitting record highs. Those field corns go to feed livestock and are some of the ingredients and foods that we buy off the shelves. Soybeans are usually found in oil and salad dressings. Now, even if rain falls in the coming weeks, the lasting effects of poor crops may be seen in grocery stores for a while.
If the crop in the Midwest turns out well, that'll help. If next year's crop is good, that'll help. But until then, until the weather changes enough to give us some relief, it's going to be hard.
The only relief that could come in the following months is that the price of meat will likely fall because of farmers having to kill off livestock. It's just too expensive to feed the animals.
Grocery prices are likely to climb steadily over the next couple of months. To give you an idea of how the price of corn has climbed, reports from the U.S. Department of Agriculture show that a bushel of corn was just under $6 early last month. That's now getting close to $8 a bushel. Matt, back to you.
All right, thank you, David. We'll get a better idea of just how devastating this drought exactly is going to be when the USDA releases its new report very soon.